Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And this time, let's take a look at let's take a closer look at the Omens of Tyranny, new major update, right, which gives us access to the third faction, basically the Illuminati, right. So we'll take a look at the enemy archetypes. We'll take a look at their specific objectives, the new vehicle, and talk a little bit about the landscape. But before that, let's take a look. First, let's look at the new Warbond that came along with the update, the Urban Legends Warbond. It doesn't have anything too broken or anything. I mean, you can get by without it, right? It's nothing too broken. The new medium and heavy armor basically it has a nice passive, but it's not something that you really need, right? So basically, the passive just increases reload speed of the primary weapons by 30% and then increases the ammo capacity of primary weapons by 20%. Nice to have, but not really needed. There's a new weapon called the CQC-19 Stunt Lance, which replaces your secondary slot, so you can't carry around a pistol. It's a melee weapon just for stunning and proccing around enemies. It's a weapon just to use for fun, right? Nothing too big. One of the new stratagems is the directional shield. It's basically the shield generated, like the shield pack you can carry, but it's just bidirectional. It's just a single directional shield. It's kind of like the ballistic shield, so you can use it in one direction while using your secondary. But the trick behind is, like, if your squad mates knows how to use it, they can take cover behind you and shoot through it, so you guys can cover like a section in one direction, like push it on your own. It's quite good, I would say, if your squad knows how to use it with you. If it's just you using it, it's meaningless, right? So I mean, like, it's okay. It's not too big, it's not too broken or anything, but it's fine. Like, if your entire squad is right behind you, you guys can make use of it, and I think that's when the shield would outshine itself. Then moving on, one of the other new stratagems is the flame sentry. Just like any other sentry, it's just a flamethrower as a sentry. This is quite good against bugs and the new zombie, not the zombie, they're more like the Voteless, right? They're like zombies. The new enemies you run into with the Illuminati, they come in swarms, so there's quite a lot of them. So I guess, but I still prefer like a machine gun sentry or the Gatling sentry. It'll just do, because flame and fire and Helldivers sometimes don't mix well together. You might accidentally get cooked yourself. Sure, they did buff our flame resistance by a little bit, but it's still what it is, right? Other than that, the new booster is quite nice. I haven't unlocked it yet, but it sounds quite it sounds like a backup, in a way, a backup turret, right? So basically, what the arm resupply pods does is it it mounts a liberator, a small assault rifle, on your resupply pod. So when your pod jump falls in, it has a turret, a small assault rifle on top, and then it'll act as a turret. So if you don't have any turrets to call for a suppressive fire, if you need some suppressive fire, you can just call your resupply pod, and it'll start shooting enemies as well as you resupply. Yeah, I mean, it's quite nice, right? And then the final stratagem is the new anti-tank emplacement. Right now, this is basically the HMG, emplacement, the exact same thing, but it shoots anti-tank rounds, right? It's good for taking down heavier enemies, but you can carry down like recoilless rifles and autocannon sentries, the autocannon itself. So there are ways to do, like, is it really needed? Not so much. Like, I feel like it's all right. It's not too bad. But yeah, as you can see, nothing in the Warbond, I would say, in my opinion, right? And this is what I feel is really needed to like make things work in this new update, right? You can just get by with what you've had. I would say loadout wise, the best thing is to have is a shotgun, and yeah, mainly either a shotgun or a medium penetrating rifle, right? Because shotgun is for crowd control, and a medium penetrating, either a heavy pistol or something for taking out some like heavier targets quickly and easily. So what I'm going to do now is like, I have some pre-recorded footage of a mission that I did some time back. So I'm going to use this footage to kind of like show you guys the different things you can come across, right? So first of all, let's look at the landscape, right? So the new Illuminati maps are kind of like the smallest maps ever, because these are already colonized planets. So it's like open areas filled with like certain sections with buildings in it. So expect to run into like a lot of close quarter type combats, because you're running through small and narrow streets at times. And yeah, but other than that, it's pretty much like an urban environment inside, and then right outside you're smack deep in your usual planet environment, like a desert or something, stuff like that, right? So it's nothing too big. So yeah, as you can see, as I'm roaming now, you're coming into like close proximity. Here are the zombies. They're going to come. Sometimes they come in big swarms. So it's always nice to have a shotgun to kind of like, take care of them. So secondary objects you see, inside the city, you find things like, the SAM sites, which can help you take down reinforcements. So those are quite nice. So I would recommend, like, as you're inside a city, quickly bring up the SAM site so they can help you with the reinforcements. Always place the machine gun sentry or something down so it can help you, kind of like cut down zombie swarms if they tend to show up from side. There, as you can see, there's a small one right there. They're gathering quickly, so it pays. So here's you'll see in a bit as I turn. So right here, so these are one of the new enemy archetypes right here, right? It's the Watcher. These are their scouts, right? So minute he sees you, he'll start signaling. It'll take a little bit of time, but he'll start signaling for reinforcements. They can easily be taken out, but they are just a bit too slim at times, so their hitboxes kind of like miss quite a few times. But just with a few rounds from any weapon, we'll just quickly take them out. I mean, we can just take a look at them here, right? So over here we have one of the heavier units, the Overseer, right? So if you talk about the Illuminati faction as a whole, they are right in between the Terminids and the Automatons. So they are not as easy as the Terminids, but they're not as difficult as the Automatons, right? They're right in between. They are well balanced faction. So you don't feel too frustrated, but there is a little bit of challenge at the end of the day. So these are the Overseers. They carry out our lance. They use plasma weapons. So if it does hit you, it does chunk up quite a bit of health. So, but they're not too heavy, right? You can still take them out with normal weapons. It takes just a few rounds to take them out. Even with the shotgun, it takes like 6 to 7 rounds to burn them, to kind of like hit them and then burn them to death. So they're not too difficult. There's a flying variant as well. He throws us grenades. So it's just that they're just a bit tanky. That's all. But nothing too stressful. So over there you can see the Watcher. So there was one Watcher right here, right? So you can see his cone field of vision. So as the Watcher spots my squad mate here, he's going to start alerting. And then you can see he starts alerting, and then he's going to call in the Warpships. So the Warpships are the kind of like the dropships of automatons. So they're just coming, and then in true UFO fashion, they just drop in the enemies right there. So right here, we're going to see one of the first unique objectives for the Illuminati, which is the Cognitive Tower, right? So basically what it does is, you're going to see it in a bit, there, right there. So what it does is, it is going to scramble your stratagems, right? You can't see the name of your stratagem, but all of us, given how far we've played, we're going to recognize our stratagems just from the icon. But from time to time, the input buttons for the stratagem is going to change, right? You can quickly hit the input, the one you're seeing right here. This is not the regular input. It's already scrambled once, right? It's changed once. You can already input it once and use it. It's not a jammer, right? It's going to change. It's going to change what the input is from time to time, right? So you're going to see it's going to change. See, it's different again. It keeps changing, right? If you're quick enough, you can just quickly input it, and then you can call in whatever stratagem you need. In order to take this out, there are just 4 power supplies around it. Just go take them out, and then you're done with the Cognitive Tower. It's an easy objective. It's nothing too hard, and it's not too cumbersome, right? It's not like a jam or anything. It does not prevent you from calling in stratagems. Rather than it just causes just a slight hindrance when you're trying to call it. Especially if you're trying to work it off using muscle memory, right? Muscle memory won't work here. You need to quickly see what the input is, and then quickly hit it before it changes again. So yeah, that's about it. And then let's take a look at the warships, right? So basically, was that correct? Was that a correct timestamp? No, it wasn't. Yeah, there we go. The warship camps. So the warships are basically kind of like the hives or the automaton bunkers, right? They are what spawns enemies, and this is what you're going to find around in blitz missions, and then in outpost mission. These are the encampments, right? So the difference is they're covered by a shield. So you need to take out the shield first, and this is going to take a few rounds. A quick explosive or two will take out the shield, and over there you're going to see the other enemy archetype. These are the big ones. This is like a Bile Titan, right? But it's not as annoying as a Bile Titan. So these are the harvesters. It's a quite nice reference to, I think, War of the Worlds. So these guys, they have this single laser shot that can quickly chunk your health away, and they have a shield as well. But they are not that tanky, right? You just need to knock out the shield with a missile and then knock them out again with another missile, right? Or just, you know, keep shooting them with the machine gun until the shields drop, and then hit them in the eye, hit them where it hurts, and they'll just drop quickly. So that's the trick behind them. Even with the warp ships, you know, the objective, see, one shot to the eye and they're done once the shield is down. So it's the same thing with the warships. Shoot it, bring the shield down, toss a grenade, do anything, bring the shield down, and then call in an airstrike. So an orbital laser will quickly chunk them down because the laser is quite quick. It'll take off the shield and the ship. Then even orbital barrages also do the trick because the explosion impact is enough to take out the shield and the ship. Or you can just do it the old-fashioned way, you know, shoot a missile, take out the shield, toss a grenade in, or shoot another missile right at the door. You have to shoot it at the door. Shooting at the ship itself won't do the trick. So shoot anywhere just to take out the shield, and then aim at the door next. Either toss a grenade in or shoot a missile into it. Shooting outside won't work. And yeah, that's pretty much how you take out those ships. And then let's take a look at the new vehicle, right? So this is the new Recon, fast Recon vehicle with a heavy machine gun on top. So the gun is quite nice, right? It's like a turret. You can drive around with your friend, with your squad mates, and then, you know, it's a good weapon, right? It's good for, it's good, it provides good suppressive power. The driving controls is a little bit annoying, right? It is a little bit, I don't know if it's like network lag. So it's like, at least this is what I face. Like, so when you drive around in it, there's like a second delay as you're inputting, like, so accelerating, as you're turning, as you're braking. So I think because of that, it becomes a little bit undrivable at times. So there you can see, and then it's very sensitive steering, right? You turn, it's gonna do a quick 90-degree turn, and you're gonna end up skidding as well. So it's a little bit difficult. So you need to, like, right now what I'm doing is I'm pressing W and letting go of it. So I'm just doing taps. I'm just doing mini taps, and then some driving, so that I don't like, so that I don't hold, so that I don't over input it. So yeah, you just have to be. It's fun. You have to be careful not to run over your teammates. But yeah, your teammates can shoot out of windows. Someone can get on the turret, and yeah, it's quite straightforward. Other than that, you can take it out of town and then drive it around. Then what else was there? Yeah, I think, yeah, that was it. That was pretty much it. As far as, you know, specific objectives go. Other than that, you know, it's like retrieved. Other than that, the objectives are quite similar, especially the primary objective. It's like pick this, retrieve this, put it here, take this from point A to point B. So it's nothing too different. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything else. I thought I'd just give you guys a bit of an info on what to expect. So do not worry about difficulty. For those of you, I'm playing this on difficulty level 10 as well on Super Helldive. It's not that difficult. All you need to do is just make sure you take out the watchers first, if you can see from a distance, if possible. Always make sure you have something for crowd control, and always make sure you have some really good barrages for taking out the annoying camps. And yeah, we are pretty much sorted. It's a very fun update. It's a breath of new fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air for the whole Helldiver thing, so that nothing is too stale. We've been fighting the automatons and the Terminids for a while now, so it's nice to have a new enemy faction, new enemy types, the vehicle, and yeah, so new stratagems as well if you guys want to use it from the Warbond. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy playing the new update as well. It's been fun so far, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video. Till next time, then, bye bye.